Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co., and this is News and Week in Review, where we're going to go through a few news pieces, the topic of the week, the various games I played, the videos of the week, all of that, links and timestamps to everything down below. But let's go ahead and start off with the news, starting with a fairly big piece that doesn't matter to your day-to-day, but is also a kind of a big deal. But Mr. Beast won a Dune Imperium Uprising tournament. If you're not familiar with Mr. Beast, well, I mean, you're on YouTube, you should probably know who Mr. Beast is, but he is one of the biggest YouTubers on the platform. One of the biggest YouTubers, I think is the biggest single person on the platform, as opposed to the what's the T-Series is, I think, the largest, most subscribed channel there. But Mr. Beast knocks out completely huge numbers, insane everything as far as what he does, and apparently he likes board games, which is cool, and also good for board games, and good for Mr. Beast, and good for this Dune Imperium Uprising tournament, which is definitely good news for Direwolf. This is co-hosted by Mr. Beast and Direwolf themselves for Dune Imperium Uprising, the newest standalone game in the Dune Imperium universe that's going to be available for pre-order now, but coming soon, I guess, or whatnot. A variety of various people attended the tournament. It was specifically high-level Dune Imperium players. That was the main target audience, was high-level Dune Imperium players, winners of previous tournament, people who are known within the community of being very good at it. Orsky, has a YouTube channel devoted to a bunch of things, but primarily Dune Imperium. He's there. He has a little vlog of the event. Roy Candidate from the Dice Tower has a bit of a vlog from the event, but ultimately, it's very cool that Mr. Beast was there. Very cool that he won. I'm happy for the nature of board games, and yeah, that's the Mr. Beast news over there. So Mr. Beast won Dune Imperium Uprising. He donated his winnings, by the way, $10,000 to the next Direwolf tournament. So he didn't feel he needed $10,000, which is fair. He just wanted to. Apparently, this whole thing started because Mr. Beast played Dune Imperium. He's like, I wish we played against, the best players in the world. And they're like, we can make that happen. And so they made it happen, which can happen. Anyways, moving on from there, we have Scoundrel Game Labs kind of buying stuff from Grim Dynasty. This is going to be a Village Attacks over here. From Village Attacks from, not Grim Dynasty, from Grimlord Games, that unfortunately is not delivering. That had one of the many failures we've seen in crowdfunding the past year. But Scoundrel Game Labs has bought the assets in different ways. Now, it's not very clear exactly what's going to happen. There may be print-and-play stuff available. They may look into options to reprinting things. So kind of right now it's open season, and if they do reprint things, you will have to pay for them still. So because I mean, they can't financially viably just take this on and then just give things for free, which sucks. It sucks for everyone involved, but at least there's something that might come of this. So the whole thing's a bit messy, but in case you are following the whole Grimlord game stuff, Scoundrel Game Labs is in some way stepping in some way. But yeah, that's going to be that over there. Then we have over here, we have Spiritfire. Oh, and if you see, by the way, I don't know if you saw over here, if you see me backing this project, I actually only backed this one at $1. This is one of those projects that I got lucky on this one, because if you never heard me talk about backing it, that's because I'm pretty sure it's $1 pledge. I was interested in Village Attacks when this was on crowdfunding, and I backed it at $1, but then ultimately I changed my mind and did not get it, which means while I have been hit by a few of the failures this past, year or two I've brought, Village Attacks for me is not one of them. Moving on over here, we have Spiritfire. Spiritfire over here announced they didn't announce much. They kind of put up a Kickstarter pre-launch page and they dropped a trailer for the game. So I imagine Spiritfire will be coming soon from Orange Nebula. Spiritfire, in fact, I already had this past week some Spiritfire content, and I will have some more Spiritfire content this coming week. But that's Spiritfire from ONEB. They launched this whole thingamajiggy over here. Sign up, get notified. Kickstarter page is there. The trailer, a 4-minute trailer for the game that will definitely get you excited to some degree is there. So if you're interested in Spiritfire from ONEB, all of that is over here. Then we have the CGE. They're continuing. This is more of a reminder than anything else, but they have put out a documentary for a while. They put out a documentary of the making of board games. They are currently up to episode 5. So if you're interested in seeing that and you forgot this existed, there are 5 episodes into the story of board games. A very, very well done, very entertaining, docu-series from CGE, which I've been enjoying as I go through it, and just wanted to remind you that it exists. I don't remember how many parts it is. I think it was in 8 parts, if I recall correctly, but I could be wrong. And then lastly, if you are not yet following the Board Game Co. Instagram, you probably should be doing so, because we're going to be starting to do more giveaways on the Instagram channel, hopefully. Starting this next week, we're going to be doing one for House of Poison, or I think actually the post is already up, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a giveaway for House of Poison, but there's going to be hopefully more giveaways. I have a bunch of games lined up to give away, so if you want to go ahead and check out any of that, that will be going on the Board Game Co. Instagram. There's daily content, there's daily photos, usually a reel here and there. There's just things that go up over there, but we're doing a few more giveaways. Nothing crazy. There's no don't expect any $200 games. I have a few things. I have, I won't say until I actually give them away just in case, but I have a few things coming. Some things being from various developers who are not developers, board game companies. Why am I blanking the term? But various companies who are making board games. Some of them are going to be doing various sponsored giveaways. But then additionally, just there's a few games here and there that I have extras of that I do want to give away and find a way to whatever. So if you are not yet following the Instagram channel, make sure to do so. I'll probably talk about it here in the week in review and be like, hey, there was a giveaway this week in case you want to check it. So if you're not interested in House of Poison, no harm, no foul. There will be more giveaways coming at some point or another if you want to check that out. And with that, let's go ahead and do the topic of the week. The topic of the week is Level Up Retreat. Level Up Retreat is a retreat that was run in 2023. It was run in July 2023. We did it in Connecticut, and I hosted the retreat, so I'm doing it hosting, partial partner with the whole, with Level Up events, and so Level Up Retreat was in July of 2023. It is coming back in, well, soon. It's coming back very, very shortly. It's going to be February 2nd to February 4th in New Jersey. We chose a new location. We have, specifically chose a location that's closer to airports, that has cheaper roommates, that overall nicer place. We just want to get the best place possible for, well, anyone showing up. So Level Up Retreat will be coming shortly, basically. I'll have more news on that. I will have a dedicated video on Level Up Retreat. The reason we're talking about today is just a few small things. First of all, if you are in any way interested and you want the early bird pricing, make sure to go ahead and follow the link in the video down below. I'll have a link over here to the Level Up site where you can go ahead and enter your email and you'll be informed you'll get an early bird code effectively as soon as the ticket sales go on. So make sure to go ahead and sign up for that. That's one of the things. I don't know exactly when ticket sales are starting. We don't have an exact date, but sometime very shortly ticket sales will be starting. And I'm going to do a few of these small announcements basically saying, hey, if you want the early bird pricing, if you want to lock that in, that will be going up shortly, and you can go ahead and do that. Just make sure to follow the link in the description down below. Past that, I welcome any feedback. If you went to Level Up Retreat, if you didn't go to Level Up Retreat, I'm kind of interested in what you have to say. Level Up Retreat, if you don't know already, is primarily a board game focused convention in terms of playing board games. It's not going to be tons of exhibitors. We may have some exhibitors. We're still looking into stuff like that, but it's focused primarily on getting together and playing board games. There's a bunch of things we did right last year and a bunch of things we can improve upon because you can always improve upon anything, and it was our first year, and so there's a bunch of things. If you went and you have more feedback of things you'd like to see done differently, please, by all means, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you'd like to see. Let me know the kinds of things that you like to see or do at conventions, even if you're not coming to the retreat, but you just think it's worth knowing. We're looking into a bunch of these things. Again, it won't be just size-wise. I don't think we'll be at a point where this year where we're doing a ton of exhibitors and whatnot, but we are looking to playing games, which means right now the current plan is we're going to have a game library. We had, hundreds and hundreds of games last year. We're going to be adding hundreds more this year to continuously expand and develop the library just as much as we possibly can. We are going to have a hot games room, same as we did last year, which is like, 20, 30 games that are just set up that are primed and ready to go, that we know are currently popular games that we'd love for you to get your hands on them. We're going to have giveaways. We have, not giveaways, play-to-wins. Last year we had a bunch of play-to-wins. We're going to have a bunch of play-to-wins again this year. Those are opportunities to go ahead and play some games, be entered to win them. We had somebody winning an all-in Oathsworn last year. Somebody drove home. Fortunately, he drove there. But somebody walked away with a copy of the all-in of Oathsworn. We gave away something like 60 games last year to, maybe 300 attendees. That's a 1 in 5 odds of winning. That's not bad at all. And I'm hoping or assuming there'll be more attendees this year. But I'll do what I can to get as many play-to-wins as I possibly can, so you have the opportunity to get your hands and win as many games as possible. So that will be another thing that we'll have at the convention. We do plan on having a few different things. I don't know in terms of events or panels or things like that. We plan on having a few. I don't know exactly the schedule for that. We're still looking into that, figuring out exactly what we want to add. But one of the things we're hoping to add more of this year are just general events. I don't know, it's interesting because I have a blind spot when it comes to certain things because of the way I go to conventions, but there's a whole way you can set up the various tables and events and have players yourself go ahead and set up the things you want to do. We plan on opening up the tabletop events system a bit more so that you can go ahead and create rooms and have dedicated areas so that players can go ahead and set up whatever game you want, whether it's a game of Twilight Imperium, whether it's a game of, Feed the Kraken, or whatever other games there are. Any of those things, we plan on opening that up as much as possible so that you can, run more games and be on top of things. Past that, if there are things you are interested in seeing, by all means let me know. We'll be taken into account. I know we had some mini painting last year. I don't know if it's as popular, so I don't yet know if we plan on doing that again. But if you have something you're interested in, by all means let me know, because it will be factored into the decision of what we try to do and what we try to add. Our goal in general, in every year, this year, next year, the year after that, our goal is to constantly add a little bit at a time. Enough so that we feel we have a firmer handle on what we're doing and what we're doing right, and then adding a little bit more because we want to add a little bit more, but not taking on so much that we create a negative experience by taking on too much. So that's kind of where things are. Once again, Level Up Retreat. If you are interested in going there, there's going to be, and as usual, we'll have a bunch of special, as usual, we did it one time. But like last year, we'll have a bunch of special guests as well. So a variety of, various personalities in space, from designers to content creators to whoever, will hopefully be there as well. So if you want the opportunity to mingle, to play games, to do events and whatnot, we will be looking into and doing all of those things as well. And again, I'll have more information as things get closer. For right now, the main points are February 2nd to 4th in New Jersey. We'll have the address and the hotel and specific linked shortly. But for right now, the main thing is if you're interested in saving a few dollars on pricing, make sure to go ahead and sign up for the early bird notification. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into the week in review, starting off with what I played. I played a few games this week, and we're going to talk about all of them. One of them is a game I'm actually doing a review of, but I still want to talk about it because I'm enjoying it that much, and that's Wizards of the Grimoire. Wizards of the Grimoire, and full disclaimer, we did do preview coverage on the channel. Devin did a preview video for Wizards of the Grimoire on the channel. That is paid sponsored content. Take that into account. Since then, though, I've heard so many people, Devin loves Wizards of the Grimoire. I think it's one of the only prototypes that he covered that he actually specifically asked to keep because he wanted to keep he wanted a copy of it. Then I heard Jenna from the Board Game Garden was talking about how much she liked it, and I continued to hear people talk about how much they enjoyed Wizards of the Grimoire to the point that I finally played it. And then when I heard they're doing expansion, I reached out and said, I've really been enjoying your game, I'd love to cover it. And Wizards of the Grimoire is awesome. It is really well done as far as a card battling system. It is really clever. It's an excellent system that is just, the main core premise of it is that every single card is comboing in different ways, and you kind of build these entire deck structures around a combo or two that you think the combination will work really well. And every time I play it, I find new ways to like pull the levers on different things so that you can actually get things done. It's really satisfying, and I'm having an absolute blast with it. There will be full review coverage on it as well, but like just this morning I had another game with a new card that I built an entire deck around a new card, and then won, and I love that aspect. I love the fact every card's unique in the game, and the expansion that's coming out is going to choose a whole bunch of new or more unique cards. So every single thing is like, okay, great, how can I take this one card and build around it in a way that just destroys my opponent in the game? It is ridiculously satisfying. I'm really enjoying the game. Past that, we have Marvel Dice Throne missions over here. Keep in mind, again, this is a sponsored playthrough. Well, Marvel Dice Throne missions are more complicated. I did a playthrough of Marvel Dice Throne. I did a playthrough of Marvel X-Men Dice Throne, whatever the terms are, Dice Throne, X-Men Dice Throne. We did a playthrough of that, a head-to-head of Wolverine and Psylocke. At the time, and it's worth noting this, at the time I didn't know I was going to be doing any sponsored content around the game, so there are no disclaimers in that video saying, hey, sponsored content, because there was no plans of doing sponsored content at the time, so it's worth noting that. After that video, after that playthrough of Wolverine vs. Psylocke, they reached out, and for Dice Throne missions, they are looking for sponsored content of a playthrough of that, and so there is sponsored content around Dice Throne missions. So multiple things here. One, I missed that disclaimer. I'm sorry for that because I didn't know at the time. Two is now for the opinion I'm about to give on Marvel Dice Throne missions, please take into account there was sponsored content, but I don't plan on doing a full review on Marvel Dice Throne missions, so I figured I'd talk about it here. I like Marvel Dice Throne missions. I'm really enjoying it. It's likely my favorite way to play Dice Throne, although caveat, I have not actually played Dice Throne Adventures yet. I still want to. But Dice Throne missions is charming. It is easy to get into. It is fun to play. I don't have a full opinion of the leveling system that they have in play and how well that will work across the missions. It's one of those games I've only played it twice so far. I hope to be playing it more. But so far, I'm enjoying the way you can pair up various characters within the Dice Throne universe. Like, I'm looking forward to taking I have Dice Throne Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, whatever it is, Marvel. I plan on getting X-Men, all those things. And so for me, I very much plan on taking my Season 1 and Season 2 characters and taking them on various missions. I hope that Roxley or Dice Throne, I hope that they can come out and have some form of Dice Throne missions for the original Dice Throne content. I want that. I haven't played Dice Throne Adventures, so I can't comment on that yet, but the Dice Throne mission system is very smooth. It's very well done. There are aspects that are a bit fiddly. It's the nature of adapting a system to an entirely different system, but overall they found a lot of ways to clean that up and make it a polished, smooth system. So Dice Throne missions, definite recommendation on that one. Instinctively, I'd give it a 4 to 5, but please keep in mind that, first of all, sponsored playthrough content, as well as the fact that I only have 2 plays under my belt, and I'd like to get more plays and see more of the system before I really dive into it. And lastly, Heat Pedal to Metal. I've been playing Heat Pedal to Metal on BGA recently, and I've really been enjoying it. I don't yet know if it's one that I need to add to my collection. Racing games are harder for me to table, but it's one that I'm very interested in, at least right now, based on how my initial playthrough of it went. Not my initial playthrough. I played it a while ago, did a first impressions video. Based on how subsequent playthroughs have gone of Heat on Board Game Arena, I am interested in I don't know. It may be one that I add to my collection at some point. The Autonoma for the various cards as well, the various cards in play is also excellent, so it's one you could play at lower player counts. I am more interested in Heat Pelt Metal than I thought I was. But time will tell whether that holds up. I need to get some more plays in it, but I definitely have been enjoying it on Board Game Arena. And that's just a small sampling of the games I played, as usual. I forgot to mention this, but that's just a handful of games. I play many, many games. I try to focus on 2 or 3 games that I specifically want to focus on, and that's my phone, which I'm going to go ahead and mute so we don't get more pop-ups throughout this video over here. There we go. And then, from there, where are we on the videos of the week? Videos of the week starting off with Saturday. This past Saturday I did a review for Skyrockets. Really enjoyed Skyrockets. That's from, oh my gosh, they do Sagrada. So Floodgate Games did Skyrockets. I really enjoyed that one. It's an iteration of the Kites game, but with more going on. I think it's very clever. It takes everything I wanted in Kites and it makes it better, which is what I was looking for. I also did a review of Atlantis Rising Monstrosities. That's also an improvement over the original Atlantis Rising. I like Atlantis Rising already. Monstrosities makes it better in the sense that it adds more interesting things. Specifically, it adds a bunch of helpers you have, but it also adds challenges, various monsters you can go against. I like everything it does. For me, ultimately, I think Atlantis Rising is not a game that's a keeper for me. I do think Atlantis Rising Monstrosities is a good addition to the game, but I think for co-op games, I lean more towards games like The Loop as far as what I'm looking for in my experience, and I think Atlantis Rising, while enhanced, it's still one I'm ready to move on from. Then, I forgot, but I want to talk about this. The first video I did on Saturday was the Week in Review. The Week in Review Saturday, which I usually don't talk about, but specifically in this week, I do want to talk about the Week in Review, because last week I talked about the Palestinian, Israel-Gaza situation to a degree, not getting into everything. It's a hard situation to get into everything, but kind of just loosely talking about it. And to that end, I just want to say thank you. To all of you, thank you. The reason I'm saying thank you is because I knew full well when I posted that video that anything could happen. Anything could happen. You know, it's a controversial subject. It is a hard subject. It's very polarizing. There are people on every side certain that they are right. And I don't mean like, I'm right, but you're not. I mean, everyone on every side is certain about certain things. Some are certain about their hard-line opinion on one thing versus the other, and some are more middle, but they're still certain on those things. People have strong opinions about the situation, and you should have strong opinions on the situation. No matter who you are, no matter what's going on, innocent people are dying every single day. That's not a debatable conversation, that is a fact. And so the idea that people have strong opinions is a good thing. We also have to learn how to talk to each other, and we have to learn about where we are doing things that move the conversation forward versus when we're just yelling and shouting and judging each other. And the reason I'm thanking you is because some of you agreed with what I said, and my opinion was not a hardline stance in any way, shape, or form, and there were certain aspects I took a hardline stance to, and the rest was nuanced and crazy, and I don't want to get into nuanced and crazy because it's such a hard, loaded subject, and I don't say it's hard and loaded to excuse the conversation. I say it's hard and loaded to excuse having the conversation in a one-way format like this where I can't properly engage. The reason I want to say thank you is because not everyone who posted in the comments had the same opinions. In fact, there was a wide diversity of opinions. But at least from what I saw, nearly everyone was respectful. We spoke to each other. We talked to each other. Both commenters to commenters, you to me. And we were able to express our disagreements in ways that did not attack the other person, in ways that did not minimize the other person, in ways that were acknowledging that we might have different viewpoints, but we also acknowledge that we're all probably coming in at this from the right intent. We're all probably walking into this with the desire to do right, to see things right happen. I said that terribly, I think that's important. I've talked about this before in general, but any hard conversation, a big thing in general is to recognize that most of us are not trying to operate out of malice. Most of us are trying to do the thing that we believe in. And so if someone's getting it wrong, if someone's getting something wrong in any way, shape, or form, let's start by acknowledging that we are not trying to get it wrong. We're trying to do what's right. Whichever side you are, not side, I shouldn't even say side, which in every aspect of the things that are happening, because it's not about sides to me, it's about aspects. It's not as simple as Gaza versus Israel. It's not as simple. There are aspects, because each aspect is nuanced in its own right. But within each aspect, we're all trying to approach this from a sense of trying to see justice served, from trying to see the right thing happen. And I appreciate so much that I have an audience of people that are willing to disagree and to do so respectfully. It would be great, but also not helpful if all of you were just in agreement. That's just an echo chamber. And it would be sad if we were at each other's throats. I am grateful that we are not an echo chamber. We are a diverse set of views, opinions, backstories. I'm such a gamer, backstories. We are a diverse set of people with different ways that we look at the world. And for the most part, nearly all of you were completely respectful in a very hard, very charged conversation. And so for that, I'm grateful to all of you. Thanks. That was Saturday. Sunday we had a crowdfunding. Sunday's video was fun. Sunday's video was a video about how crowdfunding backers are not entitled. And it was a kind of a random tangent of a video, but it was based off of a Facebook comment that I saw from a publisher that I took umbrage with. Let's call it that way. I took umbrage with the comment, and I didn't attack them about it, but I decided to have a conversation with you about it because it bothered me. And it bothered me because I think we don't always recognize. We always look at things from the side we're on, and we don't always kind of, I guess, works well with the previous conversation. We always look at things from the side we're on, and we don't give proper credence or credit to the other side. As a backer, we need to understand the hard position that publishers are in, and that most publishers are not trying to milk you for money. As a publisher, you need to recognize that backers are just trying to choose where their hard-earned dollars go. We both need to understand each side of the conversation, and I felt that was an issue where a publisher was not understanding what it's like to actually be a backer, spending money on so many games that some of them you don't even get played, and you're trying to choose how to most efficiently balance that. But yeah, that was Sunday's video. Monday was 2 back and not to back, going through a bunch of crowdfunding campaigns. We'll have another one this coming week, and then next week I think we're skipping after that. So just on and off. These are on and off at times. Anyways, Tuesday we had a bunch of videos as usual. We had a review for Nocturne from Flat Out Games. That's a puzzly spellcasting game of trying to point optimize while taking the scoring system of Metropolis, Sunrise City, whatever it's called. Not Sunrise City. It's always, I keep blanking on the name. Sunrise City is a different game. Anyways, but past that, it's Nocturne. I gave it a 4 to 5. Really liked it, and that's Nocturne. Later on Tuesday, we had a review for Gilded Realms. The Gilded Realms is a fun system. There are some fun things going on in it. I enjoyed Gilded Realms without loving it. To me, it's a 3.5 out of 5. There are aspects of the game that I definitely enjoy, aspects of the game I definitely had fun with, but I think it runs a little longer than the experience I want, so a bit of a mixed bag on Gilded Realms. Then lastly on Tuesday, we had a Horizon Zero Dawn review. Gave that a 3 out of 5. There are a lot of aspects of Horizon Zero Dawn that I really enjoy and really appreciate. At the same time, I meant to say something else earlier, but maybe I'll talk about it later. Okay, Horizon Zero Dawn. There were a bunch of aspects of the game that I really appreciate and really enjoy. I had a lot of fun with it. I played through it multiple times. I spent hours on the game. But at the end of the day, some of the core aspects of the game don't work for me. The semi-co-op, I don't love the way it works, and the cooperative is too easy. And so it's a game that I've had fun with, but definitely have critiques over it. I gave that one a 3 out of 5, and I actually got a comment in this one, which I do want to engage with briefly, but I got a comment that saying, hey, how could you give a game a 3 out of 5 if the core system is broken? At which point, I linked to my scoring system and what it means, and I've seen this, by the way. I've seen this kind of approach on my channel. I've seen it before. I've seen it on the Dice Tower. I've seen it on other channels, where like someone gives a rating, and the person's like, but what you said doesn't match up with your rating. Okay, so don't believe me against me, I guess. Like, I'm not sure what you're looking for. Like, this is not me versus them. This is me versus me. So, for me, a rating reflects ratings to me, if you look at my ratings down below, they actually reflect a specific meaning. To me, the numbers have a specific meaning because I don't know what it means to call a game a 3 out of 5. I don't know what a 3 out of 5 is. So what did I do? I attached iterative meanings to my ratings, and those meanings are now what they are. Because what's a 7.5? What's an 8? What's an 8.5? I don't know these numbers. I mean, I know what a number is, but if I don't know what the rating means to me, then it doesn't actually have a meaning, if that makes sense. So for me, a 3 out of 5, and I've said this many times, but I'll say it again over here, a 3 out of 5 is a game that I enjoyed, a game that I'm happy to play, but a game that I don't care if I don't play again. That's what Horizon Zero Dawn is. It's a game I have enjoyed. It's a game I am happy to play. But it's a game that I don't care if I don't play again. A 3.5, which is the most common rating I have, that one bumps it up a notch. And a 3.5, I do kind of want to play it again, but I also recognize that there are better games. And when you go down to a 2.5, you start moving into the not wanting to play category. And again, the meanings are all there. So yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn is a 3 out of 5. I've enjoyed it. I'm happy to play it again. I'm looking forward to Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West. And yes, there are also big complaints and concerns about the game while enjoying myself at the same time. So yeah, a 3 out of 5. Anyways, moving on to Wednesday. Wednesday we had a few videos go up. We had a live Q&A go up at 10 a.m. Wednesday, which I appreciate all of you. Again, I appreciate all of you. You guys made me blush in that Q&A. It was a fun Q&A. Got into a whole bunch of questions, a bunch of fun conversations, a bunch of regular conversations. You guys were happening, moving things along. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. And a bunch of you complimented the heck out of me and made me blush, which was very, very sweet of all of you. Later on Wednesday, we had a Deep 6 preview. This is a preview done by Meg on Deep 6. Deep 6 is a tactical abstract game. The link to the Kickstarter, well, I mean, I was going to say link to the Kickstarter down below, but that's just me getting into word vomit. There's no link to the Kickstarter down below. There's a link to the Deep 6 preview down below, and you can go to the Kickstarter from there if you want to. Then later on, that was a paid sponsor. That was a paid preview. Then we have later on Tuesday, last day Wednesday, we had Tanares Adventures. Again, speaking of paid, this is a paid sponsored gameplay series that I'm doing with Tanares Adventures and Dragori Games. Going through that one. I did the third game of week 2, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, which means there's one more game left in week 2, and that would be the halfway point or halfway-ish of the game. So yeah, if you're following along with Tanares Adventures, it is definitely a lot to follow along. I do not deny that at all. But if you are there, I know some people who have backed the game as a result of going through this and seeing the intricate decisions at play. It's a very, very cool system. Obviously, I'm getting paid while I say that, but also acknowledge that also worth noting, I gave that game a 5 out of 5 before I ever knew there's any sponsored gameplay at all, so take that into account as well. In any case, moving on from there, we have Thursday. Thursday we had a video for 7 games to check out if you like Catan. This is a fun video just talking about games that I think have similarities to Catan and are fun ways to level up within your gaming journey. For most of you, that's not necessarily relevant, but if you have a friend, a family member, if you have that one person you've been trying to get into games, and they also happen to be on YouTube, it's a good video to share to them, or else just the YouTube algorithm will hopefully do its thing, and it will be watched by whoever needs to watch that video. Then, on Thursday, that was Thursday. Friday we had 2 videos. We had a Where Are They Now for the month of October, going through the last year of Octobers. And then we also had a Spiritfire vlog of the journey to ONEB, Orange Nebula, checking out, Spiritfire and Portland and coffee and all those fun things. That was up on Friday. Then Saturday we have, that's today, not today, Today we have a few things going up. We have an Unlock Short Adventures review of the 6 Unlock Short Adventures games. We also have a playthrough of Critter Kitchen. Fun fact, I did a playthrough of Critter Kitchen, then I reviewed Critter Kitchen, and I deleted my review for Critter Kitchen because I forgot that I did 2 different videos, and I thought I had the video already, so I deleted the review, which means I need to refilm my review. I hate it when I have to do that, but I will be doing that. Anyways, Critter Kitchen. There'll be a playthrough going up for Critter Kitchen this Saturday, and the review will go up next week. And then from there, we have next week. Speaking of which, we have next week. Next week we have a few things going up. We have Spiritfire content. We have a Spiritfire interview, a Spiritfire First Impressions. It has to be called the First Impressions just because of the nature of how ambitious the game is. And, sure, I spent like 6 hours, 7 hours with the game, but it's like a 50 to 300 hour game experience. So, I gotta call it First Impressions. And then also I'll have a video hopefully going up later this week of later next week of a top 10 guilty pleasure games. These are games that I like far more than I think I almost should like, if that makes sense. But I still do like them that much, but I think I like them more than I should, if that makes sense. But that is everything. That is what we have for this week. Which brings us to the games on the table. We have a few things as usual. These are the games I hope to be diving in this week. We have General Orders, which I did not get to last week. We'll hopefully do so this week. We have Diced Veggies from KTBG. I've been excited about this one since Gen Con. Finally got my hands on a copy of it. We have Extra World Survival. I gotta get some solo gaming in, and Extra World Survival might be my solo game for this week. And we have Emerge and Dog Park, which both are games that I've been hoping to table already, but haven't, and now I'm hoping to table it this week instead. So, those are 5 of the games, 5 of the hopefully many games I hope to be tabling this week. And with that, and until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I appreciate all of you being here, and as always, I hope you have a good one.